Okay, guys, so in continuation of the earlier video, now we'll talk about institutions. So this covers farm size and tenancy agreement arrangements, research, extension, and marketing systems, and government regulatory policies. Factors determining choice of crop by a farmer may depend largely on, firstly, the size of land holding. In India, marginal and small farmers represent majority of farming communities. So monocrop paddy has become predominant as it fulfills the household needs. Second is literacy. Majority of farmers are ignorant of scientific methods. Third is the disease and pest. It depends on the possibility of disease and pest infection. Fourth is the ecological suitability. That is, it is dependent on ecological conditions, which is temperature, rainfall, humidity. Fifth is the moisture availability, which is source of irrigation determines type of cropping pattern. For example, in low rainfall area, dryland farming is best possible. And now the sixth one is the financial stability, which is economic condition of farmers, affects cropping pattern as cash crops, example cotton, involve high capital investments. These are practiced only in estate farming. Marginal section of farm community adopts low cost crops. Major categories of cropping pattern followed in India are Kharif crops, which are the monsoon crops, and Rabi, which are the post-monsoon crops. Under the Kharif, which is the monsoon crops, we have rice-based and non-rice-based. Under the rice-based, we have relay seed of succeeding crops like lentil, gram, pea, lateral, berseem, linseed, etc. is shown through broadcasting and maturing rice crop. It is done in both upland and lowland rice culture. And this is mixed varietal cropping of rice, mixing seeds of early rice ragu with late maturing deep water rice, which is bao. It is mainly practiced in West Bengal. Now, the non-rice based, which is maize based, bajra based, and cotton based. Now, under Rabi, post-monsoon crops, wheat and gram based, these two crops grown under identical climate are often substituted for each other. The Rabi jowar based, along with the jowar, bajra, pulses, oilseeds, and tobacco are grown as alternative crops. Now, the major agricultural regions or zones in India. A plant rice is grown in rain-fed, naturally well-drained soils with bunded or unbunded fields without surface water accumulation. Lowland rice, however, is grown on land that is flooded or irrigated. Now, the major crop regions in India are the rice region, wheat region, jowar bajra region, cotton region, millet and maize region, fruit and spice region. Now talking about the rice region. This is the region stretching from lower Gangetic Plain to Brahmaputra Valley in the eastern circumcoastal alluvial tract of Peninsula region. Though rice displays overall dominance considering secondary importance of other crops, this region may be subdivided into the following zones, which is the rice, jute, tea zone, far east near Assam Valley, northwest Bengal, and lower Gangetic Plain, rice pulses millets, which is the western section of farm zone covering central Bihar, eastern MP, eastern UP, rice millets, which is the entire AP, southern Orissa, and some parts of TN, rice, coffee, spices, southern extremity of Kerala and TN, wheat regions, which covers entire northwestern India, including Punjab, Haryana, UP, and Rajasthan. Major sub-regions are wheat, maize, sugarcane, comprises great part of wheat regions covering western UP, Himachal Pradesh, and Jammu. Wheat, jowar, bajra, Indus plain covering Punjab and Haryana. Wheat, jowar, bajra in Indian, Scotland, and Malwa. Jowar Bajra region practiced in drought-prone region, rainfall 50 to 100 centimeters. Jowar cotton in Maharashtra, Jowar cotton oilseeds millets in Karnataka and Maharashtra, Jowar wheat region in entire Rajasthan, Haryana and some parts of UP, Bajra Jowar pulses in Rajasthan desert and semi-desert area. Cotton region predominates in black cotton soil region in northwest India, covers Deccan Tract region and Gujarat plain, Narmada, Tapti, Purna, Sabarmati valleys are basically heartlands of cotton cultivation. As the cash crop, cotton cultivation always associated with one food grain, preferably jowar, bajra, or oilseeds. The different subregions are cotton jowar bajra, which is in Maharashtra and Western MP, cotton oilseeds, Gujarat, cotton pulses rice, Narmada banks and eastern Gujarat, millet maize region. Cultivation of millet, maize, and ragi found in association with cereals like bajra, wheat, rice, maize cultivation. It dominates in Rajasthan, Gujarat, and MP. In HP, that is Himachal Pradesh, maize, barley, wheat combinations developed, particularly in foothills of Himalaya. Some parts of Aravalli have peculiar crop combination of maize, cotton, oilseeds, Millets, wheat, ragi cultivation predominates in south of Karnataka. Maize-based cropping systems, maize-wide adaptability and compatibility under diverse soil and climatic conditions. Among different maize-based cropping systems, maize wheat ranks first, mainly concentrated in rainfed ecologies. Maize wheat is third most important after rice wheat and rice. Rice maize in peninsular and eastern India. Maize-based cropping systems are better user of available resources and water use efficiency of them is about 100 to 200%. Fruit and spice region, smallest region among different crop regions, high altitude hilly areas come under territory of this region, dunes and valleys in Himalayas, foothills of Nilgiri, Annamalai, Palni and Cardamom Hills, Tamil Nadu and Kerala. Here dominant agricultural activity is fruit orchards and plantation. Plantation and other crops under this are sugarcane, tobacco, potato, jute, tea, coffee, coconut, rubber, spices, condiments. Some of them seasonal, some annual, some perennial. In case of plantation crops, intercropping with pulses and fodder crops is common. Spices and condiments grown on fertile soils. Chilies are rotated with jowar, whereas onions, coriander, turmeric, and ginger grown as mixed crops with other seasonal crops, miscellaneous. Now we'll talk about the miscellaneous stuff. So, conservation agriculture, farming system that can prevent losses of arable land while regenerating degraded lands. It promotes maintenance of a permanent soil cover, minimizes soil disturbance and diversification of plant species. It builds up soil health in the longer term. It helps farmers to maintain and boost yields and increase profits while reversing land degradation. To reduce soil disturbance, farmers practice zero tillage farming, which allows direct planting without plowing or preparing soil. Farmer seeds directly through surface residues of previous crops. Zero tillage is combined with intercropping and crop rotation, which means either growing two or more crops at the same time on the same piece of land or growing two different crops on the same land in a sequential manner. These are also core principles of sustainable intensification. Now, what are the benefits and challenges of conservation agriculture? Now, this zero tillage farming with residue cover, it saves irrigation water, gradually increases soil organic matter and suppresses weeds, and reduces cost of machinery, fuel, and times associated with tilling. Leaving soil undisturbed increases water infiltration, holds soil moisture, and helps to prevent topsoil erosion. It enhances water intake that allows for more stable yields in midst of weather extremes exacerbated by climate change. Constraints to adopt this are wetlands or soils with poor drainage can make adoption challenging. When crop residues are limited, farmers tend to use them for fodder first, so there might not be enough residues for soil cover. Now, to initiate conservative conservation agriculture, appropriate seeders are necessary, and these may not be available or affordable to farmers. It is also knowledge intensive, and not all farmers may have access to this knowledge. It increases the yields over time, but farmers may not see the yield benefits very immediately. Now, conservation agriculture and climate smart agriculture. This aims to sustainably intensify smallholder farming systems and have a positive effect on environment using natural processes. It also helps farmers to adapt and increase profits in spite of climate risks. Now, climate smart agriculture is to adapt and mitigate effects of climate change by sequestering soil carbon and reducing greenhouse gas emissions and increase product and profitability of farming systems to ensure farmers' livelihoods and food security in a changing climate. Now, conservation agricultural systems can be considered climate smart as they deliver on objectives of climate smart agriculture. So, is conservation agriculture organic? Main difference between conservation agriculture and organic farming is organic farmers use a plow or soil tillage, while farmers who practice conservation use natural principles and they don't till soil. Organic farmers they apply tillage to remove weeds without using inorganic fertilizers, while conservation agriculture farmers, on the other hand, they use a permanent soil cover and plant seeds through this layer. They may initially use inorganic fertilizers to manage weeds, especially in soils with low fertility. Over time, use of agrochemicals may be reduced or slowly phased out. Now we'll talk about the Green Revolution, which is Krishnonati Yojana. It is a centrally sponsored umbrella scheme that has been implemented since 2016 to 2017. Krishonati, not Krishnonati, it's Krishonati. It comprises of 11 schemes and missions. First is the mission for integrated development of horticulture. This is for holistic growth of horticulture sector. And the second one is the National Food Security Mission, including National Mission on Oil Seeds and Oil Palm. This is to increase production of rice, wheat, pulses, coarse cereals, oil seeds, and crops through area expansion, restoring soil fertility and improving productivity. And the next one is the National Mission for Sustainable Agriculture. And the next one is the Submission on Agriculture Extension to strengthen ongoing programs of state or local bodies. Submission on seeds and planting material to increase production of certified or quality seed, increase seed replacement rate, and a great quality of farm seeds. Submission on agricultural mechanization, promote custom hiring centers to offset adverse economies of scale arising due to small land holding and high cost. Submission on plant protection and plant quarantine, minimize loss to quality and yield of agri crops, shield agri biosecurity and facilitate exports. Integrated scheme on agriculture, census, economics and statistics, study the cost of cultivation of principal crops to undertake agri census and research studies on agroeconomic problems, and integrated scheme on agricultural cooperation to provide it provides financial assistance for increase in economic conditions of cooperatives, remove regional imbalances. Integrated scheme on agricultural marketing to develop and provide agri-marketing infrastructure and integrate markets through common online market platforms. And national e-governance plan, making available timely and relevant info to farmers. Now, bringing green revolution to Eastern India, we'll talk about this. So this was launched in 2010 to 11 to address constraints limiting productivity of rice-based cropping system in the Eastern India, comprising 7 states, which are Assam, Bihar, Jharkhand, Orissa, Eastern UP, West Bengal. This was launched to increase production of rice and wheat and to promote cultivation in rice fallow area, to create water harvesting structures, to promote post-harvest technology and marketing support. Now, various initiatives under this include block of cluster development of improved production techniques, asset innovation, building activities for farm improvement, site-specific activities for farm renovation. Now, the horticulture in India and the related facts. Over the last decade, area under horticulture grew by 2.6% per annum and annual production increased by 4.8%. Now, shift is seen in area from food grain to horticultural crops over the last 5 years from 2012 to 2017. Now, India is the second largest producer of vegetables and fruits. Total horticultural production was highest in case of UP, followed by West Bengal. Now we'll talk about Operation Greens. Now this was announced in budget speech of 2018-19 with outlay of 500 crores to stabilize supply of tomato, onion and potato crops, which is top crops, and ensure their availability throughout the country round the year without price volatility, to strengthen top production clusters and their FPOs, which is farmer producer organizations, and price stabilization, reduction in post harvest losses, increase in food processing capacities, setting up of a market intelligence network. And now we talk about zero budget natural farming. It's a natural farming technique developed by Subhash Palekar, in which farming is done without using any credits or spending any money on purchased inputs. It reduces cost of production down to zero. Now, what are the features? The features are firstly intercropping. Under this combination of various crops grown simultaneously on a piece of land. Example, farmer grows combined crops such as pearl millet, red gram, foxtail millet, along with chilies and tomatoes, or multiple crops with groundnut as main crop, and use of biofertilizers and elimination of chemical fertilizers and pesticides. That is, farmers have a practice named Jivamrita, in which they apply fertilizers made of local cow dung and cow urine. Utilization of soil moisture, farmer of drought-prone areas, adopt mulching and bark to reduce the loss of natural moisture of soil, increase soil erosion, enhance soil health and fertility, and ensure favorable microclimate in soil. And to reduce input cost of agriculture, reduce expenditure on expensive inputs such as fertilizers and pesticides, contours and bunds to preserve rainwater. Farmers also practice replenishing local species of earthworms on farm to increase organic matter in soil, which in turn increases soil's capacity to retain moisture. Now, what is the way ahead? In June 2018, AP rolled out a plan to become India's first state to practice 100% natural farming by 2024. It aims to phase out chemical farming over 80 lakh hectares of land, converting state's 60 lakh farmers to ZBNF, that is zero budget natural farming method. Niti Aayog has also been foremost promoter of Mr. Palekar and this ZBNF method. However, its experts have also warned that multi-location studies are needed to scientifically validate long-term impact and viability of models before it can be scaled up and promoted countrywide. Now, ICAR studies ZBNF methods practiced by Basmati and wheat farmers in Modipuram, Ludhiana, Pantnagar, and Kurukshetra, evaluating impact on productivity, economics, and soil health. including soil organic carbon and soil fertility. If found to be successful, an enabling institutional mechanism could be set up to promote this technology.